US reacts to emergency rule in Rivers, asks Tinubu to reverse decision. The Director General of the Institute, Cyprian Edward Ekpo, stated this in a letter dated March 28, addressed to the President. The professor of international environmental law warned that the emergency rule in the South-South state is a threat to Nigeria's democracy and international reputation. Osun Defender recalls that on March 18, President Tinubu declared the state of emergency in Rivers State, citing the protracted political crisis and vandalization of oil facilities. The president suspended Siminalayi Fubara, Ngozi Odo's deputy, and all House of Assembly members for 6 months. Tinubu also appointed Ibok Ete Ibas, a retired vice admiral, as the sole administrator for Rivers State. On March 20, the Senate and the House of Representatives controversially ratified Tinubu's request for the emergency rule. Yes, they agreed to it. On March 26, Ibas suspended all political office holders in the state. However, while reacting, Edward Ekpo said he initially planned to present his concerns to the Supreme Court, but we considered, better, because if you go to Supreme Court, it's the same thing you are going to meet there. Supreme Court and Wike and Akpabio and the President, they are working hand in hand, so it is good that you reconsidered. Citing alleged growing skepticism over the judiciary's independence. Exactly, they are not independent at all. If you go there, you are just wasting your time. I'm sure that is why Fubara himself did not even bother saying, okay, I want to fight this out in court. That's why he's just looking. It has become a widely held global perception that Nigeria's judicial system suffers a crisis of confidence. Many have lost faith in the court's integrity, moral standing, and intellectual credibility, the letter reads. Edward Ekpo said Tinubu's actions could have lasting consequences for his legacy as a pro-democracy advocate. Which legacy? Do they care about legacy? They don't care about legacy. Mr. President, just a few days ago, a reputable individual was denied the opportunity to rent an office space in Washington, D.C. simply because he was Nigerian, on the premise that Nigerians cannot be trusted, he added. See, look at the bad reputation they are giving us all over the world. Because really, our leaders, are they reliable? They are not. So they think that, Nigerians will behave the same way the leaders are behaving. Similarly, a business partner withdrew from a tripartite investment contract solely because a Nigerian company was involved, citing concerns over the dispute resolution clause, which designated Nigeria as a jurisdictional value. They don't know that the world is watching. Everything that is going on in this country, they are watching and they are like, what kind of a thing is this? And then they think that all of us are the same thing. Can you just imagine? These are not isolated incidents. Nigerians frequently face visa denials, cancellations, and unwarranted suspicion in the global market. Beyond concerns about fraud, often driven by economic desperation and weak social security system, Nigeria's greatest reputational burden is its judiciary. Yes, they are a big problem. Mr. President, there is a seemingly straightforward yet profoundly consequential issue, one with the potential to tarnish a leader's legacy irreversibly. For decades, even as far back as the 90s, when I was just a child, my ear glued to my parents' radio, my eyes fixed on the television and newspaper headlines, we were known as a staunch pro-democracy advocate and a defender of the rule of the law. It has cast doubt on the democratic values you once embodied, leaving many to question whether the ideals you championed were ever truly a part of your leadership philosophy. The professor said President Tinubu does not have the legal authority to suspend an elected governor. It is clear that your advisors, whether out of mischief or ignorance, have misled you. Those advisors, those ones, can they even advise themselves, tarnishing your reputation and bringing Nigeria into disrepute on the global stage. I have engaged with many individuals, including senior lawyers in Nigeria, and I have consistently maintained that you, Mr. President, are not to blame for this situation. Who are we supposed to blame? The responsibility squarely falls on the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi-San. Even the Lateef Fagbemi-San is doing the bidding of the President. Or you don't know so? He said as the Chief Law Officer, it is Fagbemi's duty to provide sound legal guidance and ensure that Tinubu's decision aligns with the provision of the Constitution. But what did Fagbemi do? He agreed that, he can suspend Fubara. He agreed to it. So what do you think? Unfortunately, in this instance, he has failed in that duty. It is particularly disheartening that a legal mind of his caliber, widely regarded as one of Nigeria's finest has handled this matter so poorly, he said. Very, very poorly. Cases like this, along with the persistent global perception of Nigeria as fraudsters, contribute to constant visa denials, cancellation, and a broader distrust of our nation by the international community. He also criticized the National Assembly for ratifying the emergency rule without a constituted two-thirds majority. Those ones, their case is not even for today. With arcane magic, did the National Assembly conjure a two-thirds majority? He asked. Edodepo urged Tinubu to immediately revoke the emergency rule and restore Fubara to his position as the governor. It's not the US that is reacting, it is this man that is reacting. But he's talking about the things that are happening outside the country just because of the things that are going on in Nigeria. Because of the things going on in Nigeria, some people are losing their job. Some people are denied jobs. Oh, we can't trust Nigerians here. We don't want Nigerians here because of the things that are happening in our country. That is it. Esangbasi says, US should mind their own business. Trump is threatening to forcibly take over Greenland and make Canada the 51st state in US. Is that democracy? Well, Trump did not say anything, Sha. It was not Trump that said, he's bothered about what is going on in Nigeria, or he reacted to anything that is going on in Nigeria. No. He did not. It is another person that is calling the attention of the president that this is what is going on in the US due to the things that are happening in Nigeria. Ngozi Leo says, who is USA to question what we do in our country? Well, illiteracy is a disease and half education is dangerous. If US can actually interfere, they should though. They should. If they can question the president on the things that he's doing, they should, but they are not the ones. They are not interfering. John Woye says, Almighty US said to rearrange Nigeria. Well, with the actions, with some of the things that they are doing, the tariffs and everything, probably our governors, our leaders, they will now do the right thing. Hopefully. Let's just hope so. Emmanuel says, waiting concern Agbero with overload. Tunde Eyakano says, bring yourselves to Nigeria and reverse it nonsense. Some of you people say that you don't even want any change in the country. People are okay with what is going on in the country. Until it gets to the extreme that people know that now really one chance we enter. When it starts its dictatorship in full, people know what's up. Adeji Ezekiel says, and under colonial regime, Nigeria is a democratic nation. One useless man from US will just vomit nonsense. Now Trump send them. Okay, no verse. No verse, yeah? And listeners, over to you. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.